Cancer, what is going on with you? Come on in, have a seat, make yourself comfortable. My name's Alan Hill from UnknownTruthTarot.com. Welcome back to another Cancer love reading. I know it's been a while since I've posted a reading for you. It's probably been a couple of months. I took a little bit of time off to write a book, and it was supposed to be about a week or so, and it turned into me writing 12 books and then starting 3 more. And then I also started working on a tarot class or a workshop or whatever you want to call that. So Scorpio rising, so sometimes I go a little bit too deep on stuff and lose track of time. So my apologies for it being so long, but I've got most of that stuff finished up at this point. I'm not finished with the tarot class yet or the last 3 books that I started, but we're getting there. So I'm back here ready to do your Cancer love reading for October 2024. Today we're going to take a look at the status of the love connection between you and your romantic person of interest. I'm going to do that by getting 1 card to represent the mutual point of interest between the 2 of you here in October 2024. Then I'm going to get 3 cards for you, Cancer, 3 cards for your person, and then I'm going to clarify it all with the second deck, just to make sure we can get down to the bottom of the unknown truth about what's really going on in this love connection of yours. So let's get started. Let's get 1 card for what's the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their romantic person of interest here in October 2024, please. Let's get 3 cards for you, Cancer. What's been going on with you? Doing all right? Well, hey, what's going on with Cancer as it relates to their person? You're not even going to let me finish my sentence. We got something big going on. All 3 major arcana for you. What's going on with your person, Cancer? What's going on with Cancer's romantic person of interest as it relates to Cancer and the connection between the 2 of them? Not letting me finish my sentence again. And 2 more major arcana cards here. So we got a lot of powerful energy affecting you. Something big must be happening. On the bottom of the deck, the overall energy of this reading, King of Pentacles. This is Virgo energy. A lot of times for me, this ends up being husband type energy. It's not always like legally married husband. Sometimes this would be like the person you're engaged to, the person you're living with, the person that's building a life around you, or you're building your life around someone else. Sometimes this will represent a business owner or someone who's like an independent contractor, runs their own business, works in like a managerial role, has some clout in a business, like building an empire here. This is like half of the equation that builds the 10 of Pentacles, which is most people's goal in life, that combined together life, maximum stability and abundance and all that stuff. The other half would be the Queen of Pentacles. Don't see her yet, but we're still early. Right under this energy, I have the Wheel of Fortune. This has got a few meanings to it. Sometimes this is divine timing, like something is taking its sweet time to get here, and this would mean that like what's supposed to happen is going to happen. It's just going to happen when it's supposed to, and there's really nothing you can do to speed it up or slow it down. This can also represent a change in luck and fortune. As in, like, if everything's been going great, this would be a sign that things are about to take the left turn into the telephone pole unexpectedly, or vice versa. If things have been going bad, this would be a sign that we're, like, trying to turn the wheel the other way and correct course and get back on track here. This can just represent, like, a pivotal moment where things change. Right behind that, I have the 2 of Cups, which is Cancer energy. This is a love connection between 2 people. It's I breathe you in, you breathe me in, we're connected, but it is a 2, and in tarot, 2s are about choices. So this can be a choice in a love connection with this person where things are changing now. This can even be a choice between more than one person, where we got 2 cups of love to switch between or to choose between. That's the gist of what it looks like this is going to talk to me about. We'll probably have to come back to that more as we go along to make sense out of it. But that's the overall energy. This mutual point of interest is shared energy that affects both of you in some way here in October 2024. It doesn't always affect you both the same way. Sometimes they do this and then you feel the consequences of it, or even vice versa. Sometimes they say or do something and then it makes you act or feel this way, or vice versa. Sometimes it's something external happening that's affecting you both, and it doesn't always affect you the same way. That mutual point of interest for the 2 of you, Cancer, is the Queen of Swords. This is Libra energy. This is an energy of speaking the truth on something and then cutting off the thing or the person that isn't in your best interest anymore. So let me clarify this and see what else we can find out for you, Cancer. What's going on with this Queen of Swords? Why is that the mutual point of interest between Cancer and their person in October 2024? Okay, I had some stuff flip over in here. Gonna make me dig for it today. What else we got in here? I thought something else flipped. Apparently not. Okay. Underlying this Queen of Swords energy on the bottom of the deck, Two of Swords. This is more Libra energy. This is a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet for some reason. The lady on the card is blindfolded, so that blindfold sometimes can represent that I just don't have enough information available to me right now in order to make this decision, which is why it hasn't been made. Sometimes that blindfold can represent that there's something here that I don't want to see, something that I don't want to look at. I don't want that to be the truth. So I'm ignoring it and pretending like it's not there, kind of like being in denial about something, and that can prevent a decision from getting made. Sometimes this can indicate that it's not even your decision, it's the other person's decision, or at least you feel that way. But we have some sort of a decision here, looks like related to speaking truth or cutting something away, not quite being made yet. Right under that Two of Swords is some Cancer energy of the Four of Cups. This is an energy of not being fully emotionally happy or content with what's right here in front of you, so much so that there's this daydreaming about this other cup, this other thing that I believe might lead me to my happiness and fulfillment, and I don't quite have that yet, so I'm kind of like waiting on it to come in, or I'm daydreaming about it, thinking about it. The Three of Cups is what the person is looking at, and the Three Cups can represent being united and celebrating, or reunited and celebrating, and maybe not having that and daydreaming about the person that you're separated from here. It could be that something has changed between the two of you and we still have a connection here and we got to decide something, but decision's not being made. Right underneath that, we have the King of Swords, which is the counterpart to this Queen of Swords. That's the shared energy between the two of you. This is either Aquarius or Gemini energy. This is a decision-making energy, and it's someone who's very smart and very logical and rational and, conscious mind oriented here. But it's also someone that when they make their decisions, they tend to throw their emotions and their intuition right out the window. And this is someone who doesn't really care about the emotions. They're going to decide based on the truth and the facts and what information is right here in front of me. What can I see and verify with my own eyes and that I know is true. And I'm going to decide based on that alone, not how I feel or not how you feel. Doesn't really give a damn about anybody's feelings here. The interesting part here is, like, if you get the King and the Queen of Pentacles, they're the two that work together to build the Ten of Pentacles. When you have the King and the Queen of Cups, they build the Ten of Cups together. Well, the King and the Queen of Swords, they build the Ten of Swords together. So this usually represents people that used to be together that have ended, that aren't together anymore. Looks like we might have a decision to be made about getting back together, or whether or not we're going to get back together, whether or not we're going to try to turn this around and get this connection back or not, is what it's looking like so far. Now, when I clarify this Queen of Swords, I get the Star, the Nine of Wands, and that King of Pentacles again. So I've got the King of Pentacles in both decks already. This is really feeling like significant other person here, whether that's husband or fiance or person that you lived with or that you're building your life with. It's what it's looking like. The Star is the Aquarius Major Arcana card. This is a card of hope. It's a card of healing. It usually represents the hope that we can heal this and fix it and put it back together. Every once in a while, this card will represent feeling like this other person is the one for me. I do have to make it clear that just because this card shows up does not mean that they are the one for you. This is not like God beaming down a message to me that, yep, I'm telling you, that's the one. This shows up in the shared energy here, so it could be that one of you is feeling that way or both of you is feeling that way. But this is a card of healing. It's the card that comes right after the Tower in the sequence of the major arcana. So it's impossible to get here without going through the Tower moment of some kind first, where something important comes crashing down all around you. Something falls apart. And when that happens, it's really hard to see the path moving forward there. And this is the guiding light from the universe that shows up to light the way for you so you can see the path moving forward. It's where hope and healing both come from. Looking like we've had a severing here. I have Nine of Wands next, which is Sagittarius energy. This is a walled-off, defensive kind of an energy. It's also a card of healing, just like the Star here. This is the Wounded Warrior, and he's got a bandage on his head. He's built this wall around himself because he's been hurt, and this is his way of trying to protect himself. He's trying not to get hurt again or not to get hurt anymore because he's trying to heal. He's trying to get his energy right so he can move forward and take the next step in his journey. There is some caution to this, though, because if you look at the wall he's built around himself, it's just some sticks in the ground. Like, if you wanted to get to this dude and hurt him, those sticks aren't going to save him. You could barrel right through those and get to him and hurt him, no problem. And that's kind of the way the walls are that we build around ourselves when we get hurt. We raise those emotional walls as like a defense mechanism, but they don't really protect us the way that we think they do. But they do make a pretty damn good fence that keeps us kind of walled off and keeps a barrier between us and getting to the thing that we actually want. So the caution here is, if you've been hurt, it's fine to put your walls up and protect yourself, but don't keep that with you forever. Kind of think of this wall as like your lawnmower. You get that out of the garage and you cut your grass and you put it back when you're done. You don't bring it into the living room with you. You don't take it to work with you. You don't carry the lawnmower around everywhere you go. And that's kind of what you need to do with the wall. Use it when you need it and then put the wall back. Don't keep yourself like walled off from getting what you want. This is really looking like we had a severing here, and there's some decision about, are we staying severed or are we getting back together? Again, I got the King of Pentacles next, which, like I said, kind of represents like husband energy or significant other energy. Not uncommon at the early stage of these readings that I don't fully understand what the hell this is trying to tell me yet. We're probably going to have to come back to that. In fact, I will come back to it as I go through your energy, because then I'll be able to see how that applies to you. I'll come back to it again when I go through your person's energy so I can see how it applies to them. But that's the shared energy. When I look at your energy in this connection, Cancer, the first card is always going to be the most important. You got the Empress. Central to your energy is Judgment. And your final card is the Star again. So I've got the Star in both decks already. I've got the King of Pentacles in both decks already. All three major arcana cards for you. We all have free will, and it's a lot easier for us to exercise our free will over these minor arcana energies, like the everyday, like mundane aspects of life. It's a little bit harder to exercise our free will over these major arcana energies, because this is powerful, like universal energy, like archetypal energy here. This Empress is the mother of the tarot deck. She's always pregnant, so she's always giving birth to something. So in a relationship reading, she represents the birth of something new, which would typically be the birth of a new connection. Sometimes this can represent the rebirth of a connection after it's been severed here. So let's take a look at this Empress here and clarify that and see what else we can find. What's going on with this Empress, please? Why is the Empress the first card for Cancer here in October 2024? Okay. Underlying this Empress energy on the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles. This is Taurus energy. This is a period of time that goes by for one of two reasons. Reason number one would be this is a period of time where you're pausing to reflect and take stock of this connection, take stock of this situation, taking a look at the seeds that were planted between the two of you. And it's about trying to decide, is this ever going to grow into the Ten of Pentacles that I really want, that combined together life that I really want? Like I said, King and Queen of Pentacles are the two that build that Ten of Pentacles, that combined together life. And I've got the King out here twice, but not the Queen. This is feeling like we're separated here, physically. The other thing that this could mean, besides like that period of time where you're reflecting and trying to decide, is this worth continuing to invest my time, effort, and energy into? Is this gonna turn into what I want or not? Maybe I should cut my losses and move on. But the other thing it could represent is a period of time where we have planted the seeds on something and we're waiting on that to fully develop and mature and blossom so we can harvest it and get something out of it. Think about like if you go plant an apple tree in your backyard right now, you're not going to come out tomorrow morning and get apples. There's this lag time from the time that we do something until actually it pans out and we get something out of it. So this is some period of time going by for one of those two reasons. Right under that 7 of Pentacles is the 8 of Pentacles. So we're making progress here. This is going from the 7 to the 8, one step at a time type progress. This is Virgo energy of work, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something to get what you want, or at the least being willing to put in the work on something. It's looking like we've probably been apart for a minute here, and the idea of putting in the work on it is showing up in your energy. But then I have the Knight of Swords right behind that, which is the fastest moving knight in the deck. This is rushing forward and taking this decisive action on something that I probably didn't think through very well first. Like, this is not the person that reads the instruction manual first. This is the dude who just runs off and does something without thinking about it first, or without thinking about it while they're doing it. They usually just do it and they don't think about it until afterwards. 6 of Pentacles. So this is more Taurus energy. This has got two meanings. It can represent balance, as in trying to balance this connection back out. It can be generosity, reciprocity, like you scratch my back, I scratch your back, we take care of each other, like equal give and take kind of an energy. On the negative side, this can represent the merchant here, which would probably be your person giving to two people in the physical sense. And notice one of them is kind of behind his back a little bit. So I'm clarifying the Empress, the birth of some new connection here, or the rebirth of a connection. So this could go either way. It's kind of weird that I have 7, 8, 6. And in the middle of that is somebody who probably did something really quickly without thinking about it first. And we got some stuff jumbled and out of order, which is kind of what the Knight of Swords does. Like, typically you're supposed to think about it first and then make a decision to do it and then actually do it. And here I've got out of order energy again. So when I clarify the Empress, I get 4 cards. Normally I get 3. I got the 2 of Wands, the 2 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, and the 9 of Cups. I've already seen the 2 of Cups 3 cards deep in the overall energy, which, again, this is a connection between the two of you, but it can be a choice because it's a 2. It could be a choice about the connection, a choice between two different people. I've got the 2 of Wands here, which is Aries energy. It's a fork in the road. It's a crossroads in your life, probably a crossroads in this connection. It's a decision point, and it's a decision about what is it I want my world to be like? What do I want my life to be like? And which of these two paths is going to get me there? You can't turn left and right at the same time. So there's also this idea here of which of these two paths am I going to leave behind in order to get to the thing that I want. Next, I have the 2 of Pentacles, another choice. So I'm getting hammered with choice already. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but your central card is Judgment, which is the most powerful decision card in the deck. This 2 of Pentacles is Capricorn energy. It's a choice between these two physical things, and I can't have both of them at the same time, and I have to pick one, and it's like weighing the options. It's looking at the pros and cons. Which one of these do I want? This way or that way? Like, do I or don't I? Should I or shouldn't I? So it's like a 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of an energy where a decision hasn't really been made. The person's off balance here. The water in the background is wavy. It's rough and choppy, which indicates rough, choppy emotions. This is an energy of balance, kind of like that 6 of Pentacles that we saw, but this is more about trying to maintain your balance or get your balance back once it's been thrown off. Choosing between these two things. Next, I have the 8 of Wands, which is Sagittarius energy. Again, I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but your person's first card is the 8 of Wands here. So I've got this in both decks now. I've got the King of Pentacles in both decks. Got the Star in both decks. This is Sagittarius energy. It's the second fastest energy in the deck. This is rushing forward, and it's like rapid back and forth passionate communication happening. It's like rapid forward movement or progress on something that there's passion and desire for. It can indicate travel over distances. A lot of times this will just indicate a lot of external energy coming at me all at once. It would be like so much is happening all at once. It's all happening too fast. It's like too much to process at one time, and it can feel really overwhelming. Final card here to clarify the Empress is the Nine of Cups. This is a Pisces energy. It's also a singles energy. It's a step backwards from the Ten of Cups that we all want. So I've seen a reference here to, is this going to turn into the Ten of Pentacles like I want, which would be the combined together life, and the Ten of Cups would be being combined together emotionally, like everyone fully happy and pouring their love into each other, and everything's awesome. It's like that happy fairy tale ending that we all want. But this is a step backwards from that. So we're not to that point yet. This is one of those cards that you could flip a coin on whether it's a good card or a bad card, because it's got elements of both to it. In the positive sense, this would indicate that I don't need this external person to show up and, quote, make me happy, or I don't need this external person to make me feel loved or to make me feel whole, because I realize that my happiness comes from inside of me, not outside of me. So this is about self-love. It's about being fully happy and content in and of yourself and not needing this external person, which is actually how you get to the Ten of Cups. Everybody thinks that you just start by meeting this new person and like, oh, we have this connection here, and now suddenly we've jumped straight to the Ten of Cups, and that's not how it ever works. The Ten of Cups is one of those cards that gets more people in trouble than any other card in the deck, because we all want that happy love connection so bad that we'll delude ourselves and we'll sweep shit under the rug and ignore things and pretend and lie to ourselves because we're trying to convince ourselves that this is what I want. But this is a step back from that. If this is you being fully happy and content in and of yourself, that's awesome. Doesn't necessarily look that way, though. The negative side to this card is it can represent, it's personal happiness and personal wish fulfillment. So it can represent a person who's kind of self-centered or self-indulgent or overindulgent. It's kind of like me, myself, and I. Like, my happiness is more important than your happiness. My happiness is more important than this connection. So it could be someone who kind of goes after their own jollies here. If we're talking about birthing a new connection that has happened, see, like, this is in your energy, but it doesn't mean you're the one that has birthed a new connection necessarily. It's really common that most of the time this whole first column is this person's stuff showing up over here on your side of the table because what they're doing is affecting you so strongly. Could be we had somebody move really, really fast on something they had passion and desire for, their own personal jollies and happiness were attached to it. It could even be that they've birthed a new connection, and now there's this choice about what do they want and which of these two people do they want. That could be the thing that was the pivotal moment that changed everything with them, and there's this two cups in the background. It's a connection that I still feel, but a choice that needs made. And if you remember, what was on the bottom of the deck when I clarified the shared energy was the Two of Swords, a decision that needs made that hasn't been made yet. Looks like a period of time where we're waiting on that to decide, are we going to work on this or not? Central to your energy, Cancer, we have Judgment, which is the most powerful decision card in the deck. This is a final decision being made, passing a final verdict in judgment. In a relationship reading, this is we're going to call this dead and over with, and there's no coming back from it. Or B, we could call this resurrection and bringing something back from the grave and bringing it back to life and transforming it in a way that's never going to be the same again. So this can be a reconciliation energy. I've got the Empress, which could represent rebirth of the connection, something being called back from the grave. I've got the Star out here, hope that we can heal this. Let's clarify this Judgment card. Tell me more about Judgment. Why is that central for Cancer's energy, please? I think this one. Okay, these are switched. My bad. Getting yelled at here. On the bottom of the deck, underlying this final decision, Two of Swords, Libra energy, decision that needs made that hasn't been made yet. I don't know if someone's being stubborn and refusing to decide, or whether this is dead and over, or whether we're resurrecting it, or whether this is I don't have enough information to decide which I want. It could be that that's what's in question here, rebirthing this, and do I really want that or not, and weighing the options here. This could also be that someone birthed a new connection and called it dead and over with you, but maybe they didn't actually fully decide that, or maybe there's something about that decision that you don't want to see and don't want to look at, and being in denial about it is kind of preventing you from making some sort of a decision. Like sometimes in personal readings, I'll get this card when the lady I'm reading for or the guy that I'm reading for feels like it's not really up to them about what's going to happen. It's up to their person. But that's kind of an illusion, because you always have the power of choice here. So even if it is kind of up to them on whether or not you get back together, you can make your own decision here. You can decide for yourself, you know what, I'm not putting up with this bullshit anymore, and I'm just getting rid of this myself. I'm calling it dead and over with myself. But that doesn't seem to be happening. Right under that Two of Swords, Ace of Wands. This is a passionate new beginning in passion and desire. It's also the phallic symbol of the tarot deck, so it represents the male you-know-what and using it to do you-know-what and sexual energy and all that jazz. So this can represent sparking up a new connection, just like the Empress can represent birthing a new connection. That could be why we had a severing take place here, and why someone's walls are up and they're all defensive. The other meaning of this card is it can also represent trying to re-spark a connection, trying to fire the connection back up, re-spark the passion and the desire in that. But I have King of Swords behind it, which again, Aquarius, Gemini energy, very logical, rational, decision-making energy. I'm just looking at the truth and the facts and what's right in front of me. I don't give a rat's ass about how you or anybody else feels about it. I'm going to decide based on what's best and most logical here. Again, this is the counterpart to the Queen of Swords, which represents people that used to be together. It's very strange to see Two of Swords indecision with the chief decision-making energy of the deck, and during a time when I'm clarifying the most powerful decision card in the deck. This is starting to look to me like they already made their decision to spark up something new, and either you're not accepting this, or there is some element here of you're waiting on them to change their mind and decide something different that seems more logical and rational to you, having the hope that we can heal this, but then at the same time being hurt and keeping your defenses up. When I clarify this Judgment card, I get the Four of Cups, the Fool, the Page of Swords, and the Five of Wands. Four of Cups is Cancer energy. This is not being fully happy or content with what's right here in front of you. I'm not happy either being together, or I'm not happy because we aren't reunited yet and I'm daydreaming about this other person. I've seen hints already that something new was started here, but not with you, with someone different. These Three Cups can represent being together and I'm not happy because we're not, and that's what I want, and I can't get you out of my head. But it can also represent I'm not happy because Three Cups of love are involved in our picture here and I can't get this other person out of my head. It's right beside that Two of Wands, though, that decision about what is it that you actually want for your life. Next, I have the Fool. This is the first card of the Major Arcana, the first card of the whole tarot deck. It's card 0. This is a new beginning at something. It's a new beginning where we're taking this blind leap of faith on something. In other words, I don't know exactly how this works. I don't know exactly what the final end result is going to be, and I don't need to. I'm just going to say screw it and leap off this cliff, and I'll worry about it on my way down. I'll figure out how to grow wings before I hit the ground. I'll figure this out as I go. It can also sometimes represent foolish behavior, or taking an unnecessary risk, or taking a risk outside of a connection. That could be what's got Judgment passed here. It's also right beside the Two of Pentacles, where I'm not 100% sure, and I got these two options that I'm juggling here. Sometimes that can represent two different people that I'm juggling between, and I'm displaying foolish behavior. It could represent that, and that just because it's showing up in your energy, Cancer, doesn't mean I'm accusing you of doing that, because I'm not. It's most likely your person showing up over here because what they're doing is affecting you. Page of Swords is next. This is news and messages and communication. It's also an energy of someone who's trying to learn something or trying to figure something out. I get this card a lot when someone's snooping around or investigating or researching something and trying to figure out what's going on with the other person. This can represent like scoping out their Facebook and Instagram pages, trying to figure out what's going on, driving past their house or where they work, trying to figure out what's going on, asking people what's going on with them. Can sometimes even just represent accidentally uncovering some information that you weren't really meant to see, or hell, technically what I'm doing right now qualifies as the Page of Swords because I'm snooping around in your guys' energy trying to figure out what the heck's going on between the two of you. It's right beside this Eight of Wands, this fast-moving, passion-related energy, like fast movement, fast progress on something, a lot happening all at once, being overwhelmed, maybe looking back, trying to figure out what the hell is going on with that. The final clarifier for Judgment is the Five of Wands. Fives are conflict. This is Leo energy. It's a conflict in desires. In other words, a piece of you wants probably to heal this and get back together with them, and then another piece of you is probably wanting the opposite of that. And this is about being torn between these two things and wanting both of them at the same time and playing this internal battle of tug of war in terms of what is it that you actually want. Now, it can also represent that you're pulling one way and they're pulling a different way, and we got some kind of a problem here. That internal conflict is attached to this Nine of Cups, like that single energy, probably like wanting to be single, and another piece of you wanting to get to this Ten of Cups. Could even be that there's a conflict in personal happiness and wish fulfillment here. Again, meaning like you want one thing and they want something slightly different than that. Not pulling in the same direction together, but more pulling against each other, like a struggle. Final card for you, Cancer, is the Star. We've already seen that in the shared energy here. This is the Aquarius Major Arcana card. Hope, healing. Again, it's the card that comes after the Tower. So even though I don't have the Tower out here yet, I know one has happened between the two of you, or I wouldn't have the Star in both decks. This is the hope that we can heal something and get back to where you think it should be. Tell me more about the Star. Why is the Star here in Cancer's energy, please? Come here. Turned it right side up. I don't read reversals, so when they come out upside down, I just automatically flip them over. I don't really even notice when I do it most of the time, but I noticed it that time, and whenever I don't mention it, people freak out in the comments like, how you turned that card right side up? There's no real need to read reversals for me because I get the context of what it means based on the other cards that are connected to it, the other cards that are out here. So underlying this Star energy, Eight of Pentacles. So again, this is hope and healing, that hope that we can heal this and fix it. And this is that Virgo energy of work, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy on something to get what you want, or being willing to work on this, to heal it, to put it back together. There's the Tower that we're missing. This is the collapse of something. So this looks like, I saw that Seven of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles right in order a few minutes ago. Like, should I continue investing my time, effort, and energy in this or not? And a period of time of contemplating that. And then we had the investing of time, effort, and energy right behind it. Now I've got the Tower. So this is looking like we have already tried working on this at some point, and there's still some collapse. This is like a foundation rocking event. It's a game changer. Like nothing's the same after this point. Now, sometimes this represents the collapse of the relationship itself. Sometimes this represents the collapse of a belief system, like this mental model of the world that you're operating from, where I believed it's going to be this one way, and then something happens to shatter that belief. And now it's like, I don't know what to even do from here. Hence, like this trying to figure it out and not being happy and being internally conflicted and being overwhelmed, and these two choice cards that are here where what is it I really want and which way do I go? Got the Four of Swords behind that. This is Libra energy. I feel like I've said Libra quite a bit here. I see I've got Libra, Aquarius, Sagittarius, Virgo or Taurus, Taurus or Libra, Aries, Capricorn, Sagittarius, Pisces, more fire, Cancer, Leo, Aquarius again, Taurus again, Virgo again, Capricorn again, Capricorn, Pisces, Sagittarius. You could be dealing with any of those signs. Hell, this is a collective reading, so it's going to be almost impossible for me to tell exactly who you are dealing with specifically, because I'm not tapping into your specific energy as an individual person the same way I would if I was doing a personal reading for you. Here I'm tapping into collective energy of thousands of Cancer people all at the same time. So I'm just going to keep calling these signs out as they stick out to me, just in case they mean anything to you. But this Four of Swords is Libra energy. This is about, fours are stability. So this is like stabilizing the thoughts or stabilizing the mind. It's like trying to calm my mind down so I can figure out what to do. It's about going inside myself to heal something, or to go inside myself to do some thinking to figure it out. This is like a pause. It's a break. Sometimes I'll get this card because when people break up, sometimes they don't like officially like to label it that we're broken up. They call it like we're on a break right now, or we're taking a time out right now. I got this idea of putting in the work and healing this and the collapse of everything to where it's not the same anymore, and still this idea potentially of that we're just on a break right now. I do see like rebirthing it, resurrection, not happy because we're not together, and I'm internally conflicted about this. There's healing all over the place, or at least the hope for that all over the place. When I clarify the star, I got the Six of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Nine of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. Again, this can be balance. It could be trying to balance this back out, having the hope that we can balance this back out, make it an equal give and take type of a scenario. But this can also represent the Merchant here, giving to two people in the physical sense. I got this energy right beside it, but I'm not happy potentially because there's three cups of love involved, and either I can't get this person out of my mind, or I can't get this other person they brought in out of my mind. Either way, there is some decision that it needs to be made here about what is it that either they want or what is it that you want. Now, I'm not really so concerned with what they want. I'm much more concerned with what you want, and you getting what you want, and you getting to your ninth cup and your own happiness here. Next, I have the King of Cups. The Cancer court card is the Queen of Cups. And again, I don't see that out here anywhere. So sometimes it's more than just the cards that come out on the table that tell me stuff. Sometimes it's the cards that don't come out that also tell me stuff. And I'm missing the counterpart here. There for a good long while, I was also missing the counterpart to this King of Pentacles, which I have twice. And I finally got that showing up here. But this King of Cups is Pisces or Scorpio energy. This would be the other half of the love equation here. This would represent probably how you're viewing this person, that you have all this love and emotions for them, and you're viewing them as the other half of that love equation. But this can also represent that they have love and emotions for you. But the King of Cups doesn't usually wear his heart on his sleeve. This is not the dude who likes to publicly broadcast how he feels about things, whether that's good or bad. Sometimes I'll get this card for a lady when there's a guy that's maybe her friend and has always just been her friend, and she's never thought of him any other way than that. And I'll get this card for him because he's actually in love with her, and she has no idea because he doesn't express that, and he's really good at keeping his emotions contained and not being able to read him and tell what's going on with that. I'll also get this card because if you notice around his feet, the water is rough and choppy, which can mean rough, choppy emotions, emotional turmoil, which you also wouldn't be able to tell from this person because they're not likely to complain about things. They're not likely to express that. There's this idea here of balancing it out, but there's also this idea of your other half over here displaying foolish behavior, potentially giving to two people in the physical sense, potentially juggling two people in the physical sense. Next, I have the Nine of Pentacles, which is the other single energy in the deck. I've already seen the Nine of Cups, a step backwards from the Ten of Cups that we all want. This is a step backwards from the Ten of Pentacles that we all want. That combined together life, living together, building a life together. This is independent energy. This is like physically single or physically by myself, physically independent. It represents that you don't need someone else to physically or financially take care of you. You can do that on your own. But it also usually represents that you're actually single right now and not actually physically together. Now, the other meaning to this card, it's not always a person who is single. A lot of times I'll get this card when this person over here is actually in a relationship, but they present themselves in the physical world as if they're single, which is how you end up giving to two people and having this crazy choice and birthing something new and all that. There's this energy beside it of you trying to figure out what's going on with this being single, and there's also this a lot of stuff happening all at once. This is starting to feel to me like whatever happened is it's like everything seemed fine on Monday, but then by Tuesday or Wednesday, there was this big shift here and this other person came out and got exposed and illuminated and you could see it for what it is. And it's looking like from your shoes, it feels like this hit you out of nowhere. Next, I have the Queen of Pentacles, which is the counterpart to this King of Pentacles that's in the shared energy. The same King of Pentacles is the overall energy. This would be the wife or, the stable, committed girlfriend or the person that I'm building my life around, living together with, going down the path toward living together in marriage. But I've got you out here being single. I've also got this internal conflict tied to this Queen of Pentacles. So I don't know, again, if that means that you are conflicted about what you want or if they're conflicted about whether or not they want to be married or living together, or if they're presenting themselves as being single when they're not, or maybe you're conflicted about being single because maybe there's elements to that are okay with you and other elements that basically look like they're not okay with you. I'm hoping this is the point that you can leave me a comment and say, no, dude, you're full of shit. This is not what's going on with me. You're reading the whole wrong thing right here. But that's your energy in the connection. I'm going to scoot this over a little bit. Take a look at your person's energy, Cancer. For them, the first card is the most important. They got the Eight of Wands. Central to their energy is the Devil. And their final card is another major arcana card, the Hanged Man. So all three of yours are major arcana. Two of theirs are major arcana. Got one in the shared energy. Eight of Wands, we've already seen that over here on your side. Sagittarius energy, a very fast forward movement on something. There's passion and desire for fast progress on that. Can be rapid back and forth passionate communication. It could be travel. It could just be a whole lot happening all at one time. Tell me about this Eight of Wands, please. Why is that the first card here for Cancer's person of interest? Okay, we got... It's so weird. Every time I have that as one of the main cards and I clarify it, I end up getting an overwhelming number of cards here, which is kind of what that card means. So, on the bottom of the deck, underlying this fast-moving energy, Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning and passion and desire, phallic symbol of the deck. If you notice on this card, we got 8 of these doodads flying through the air here. So there's a lot of passion and desire here. A lot of forward movement on something like that is what it's looking like. Again, like I said, this could be a new beginning in passion and desire, as in they started something new with a new person. This could represent trying to re-spark the connection, but maybe I'm overwhelmed with that, or maybe I'm trying to communicate to you about that, and you've got your walls up because they hurt you at some point. Under this Ace of Wands, I got the King of Wands, which is the pinnacle of this wand suit. This is Leo or Sagittarius energy. This is a bold, passionate, fiery, determined person that knows exactly what he wants. Usually doesn't take no for an answer, doesn't let little obstacles and roadblocks and challenges stop him from getting what he wants. This very driven, motivated, determined, ambitious kind of a person that goes after what they want. Like I said, though, it's the pinnacle of the wand suit, and this is not just someone who's driven and motivated in the normal sense. They're also driven and motivated by passion and desire and sexual energy. And then Two of Swords, a decision that needs to be made, only it hasn't been made yet. I'm not sure if it's because they don't have enough information to decide. And this is feeling like I don't want to choose. The Empress, the birth of something new, birth of a new connection, rebirthing this connection with you. Man, oh man, oh man. As bad as this sounds, I'll get this card in this type of a circumstance quite a bit when they're with you, but then they also have this other person on the side and they don't want to choose. They would rather just keep both of you and have their cake and eat it too. I'm hoping that's not the case. When I clarify this Eight of Wands, I should get 3 clarifiers. I just got 5. I got the Six of Cups, the Two of Cups, Judgment, the Queen of Cups, and Justice. Six of Cups is Scorpio energy of the past. It's thinking about the past, reminiscing about the past, thinking about the good old days and the way things used to be between the two of you. It can represent something from the past coming back up again, something from the past happening again. If there has been some BS going on here, this would probably indicate it ain't the first time that's happened. It ain't the first time that something's come out of the blue really quickly. It can also just represent someone from the past coming back again or showing up again. That person from the past does not necessarily have to be like an ex that they were with or someone that they used to be romantically involved with, although it definitely can mean that. The past is a relative term. Like technically 3 seconds ago was the past, 2 hours ago was the past. So this would just represent not a brand new person that they're meeting for the first time. If it's talking about someone from the past, it would be someone that they already have some kind of a history with, that they've already known for a period of time. So like someone that they work with would qualify, someone that they went to school with or have been friends with for a while, even someone that they got introduced to not too terribly long ago would qualify as that. It's just feeling to me like not brand new person. It's right across the aisle from the Merchant giving to 2. And not being fully happy and having this other thing on my mind and a decision about what do I really want for my life. Next, I have the Two of Cups, which if I look at your person here showing up, there's some pivotal moment that changes things, and I've got that Two of Cups behind it. So again, I don't know if this is your person communicating to you about, the past and reminiscing about the way it used to be and still feeling this connection with you, or if this is something happening really quick with someone they already know and a new connection is started and now there's a choice about your connection and a choice between 2 different cups of love. I don't know for sure, and I don't think you would have had any clues about it either, because it's right across the aisle from that King of Cups, the person who's really good at masking their emotions and not necessarily letting the cat out of the bag. I got foolish behavior, risk-taking beside that, and potentially juggling 2 people. Either way, I've got a choice 2 times in this row. I had a choice in the previous row, and now when I get to the 3rd row, I've got Judgment here, which is your central energy here, that final decision. So I've got decision/choice all over the place. This is that final decision. Either we're calling it dead and over with, or we're going to resurrect it and bring it back to life. Right across the aisle, there's single energy. and something happening really fast, which is what I'm clarifying right now. And there's this idea of trying to figure it out. Next, I have Queen of Cups, which is the counterpart to this King of Cups. That's Cancer energy. I don't know if this is them wanting to resurrect it with Cancer, or if this is them passing their final verdict in judgment on Cancer and calling this connection dead and over with. I do know that you've been hurt here, because I've got this energy of wanting to protect myself from getting hurt in the shared energy, a card of healing here. I've got that same card of healing on your side. The Queen of Cups is the only character that has a lid on top of her cup, and she's doing that as a way to prevent her emotions from getting contaminated. She's already been hurt before, and she doesn't want anything getting in there and emotionally hurting her again. But what she wants to do is take the lid off of her cup and pour herself into someone. She's just hesitant. I've got that directly across the aisle from this Queen of Pentacles, which is bringing up some new thing here for me, because it's possible that this is you, Cancer, and that this is a person that they're already with, whether they're married already or living together with someone already or going down that path already. I've got 3 queens in a row right here. The birth of something new. So I guess it's entirely possible that this person is already a husband or is already, physically involved with someone. And maybe there's divine timing here where you're waiting on them to make a choice about which cup they want. And maybe they started a new connection with you before they had ended this previous connection. Take that part however it resonates. It might be one way for you and the very next way for the next Cancer that shows up. But the final clarifier for that 8 of Wands is Justice, the Libra Major Arcana card. It's a card of balance. It's about doing the right, fair, just thing. The sword in this card is used to cut away something that's not in balance so that balance can be restored and the right, fair, just thing can happen. This card shows up for me when something unfair and unjust or something unbalanced is going on, and this is pointing out the need to correct that. Central to your person's energy, the Devil, the Capricorn Major Arcana card. This is a heavy toxic energy. This is obsession. It's addiction. It can be a feeling of being trapped by something, feeling like I can't escape from something, feeling like something has control over me and I don't have control over it. It can be an element of your person's shadow. In other words, a piece of themselves that they don't like, that they don't want you or anyone else to see. Hell, most of the time, they don't want to look at it themselves. If you notice on the card, that's the Fool inside this cage that the Devil has got. He's got chains connected to the cage that he's holding on to. And the Fool has got his face covered. He doesn't want to face the situation he's in. He doesn't want to look at it. He's kind of in denial about it. And he feels trapped, but the cage door is wide open. He could leave anytime he wants. He just doesn't know that. And being afraid to face whatever this is keeping him trapped. It's not that he's actually trapped. It's the refusal to face it that's keeping him trapped. So I don't know if this is telling me that there's some toxicity in your connection, or if your person is carrying toxicity with them. If there's maybe they've been hurt at some point in the past and they never healed from that, and they just kind of moved on and repressed it and pushed it down into their shadows and pretended like everything's fine and moved on when everything wasn't actually fine. This is a lot of times somebody gets hurt and they don't heal from it and they get in denial about what happened. And then it ends up becoming a part of their subconscious, and they get these urges and desires and these unconscious behaviors that they're not really in control of, and maybe they don't even see it themselves, even when you point it out to them. But it takes control. So tell me about this Devil, please. Why is that central for Cancer's person in October 2024, please? Well, on the bottom of the deck underlying this Devil energy, 8 of Pentacles. There's that Virgo energy of work, putting in the work, time, effort, and energy to get what I want, or being willing to put in the work to get what I want. Working on something that's toxic, or feeling maybe trapped in working on something. I have this person from the past potentially right here. It could be that we need to work on this toxic thing, but this person that I already have some kind of a history with could be someone that I work with. Got the Tower right behind that. Again, this could be a case where something happened between the two of you and you wanted to heal it and put the work in on it, and maybe they started to put the work in on it. But either way, after that work, the Tower collapses here. And there's that same Four of Swords again, like a pause, a break. Maybe this person is telling you we just need to take some time here. We just need to figure this out, and in the meantime, they're still moving forward on something else, is what it's looking like to me. When I clarify the Devil, I get the Emperor, the Three of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. The Emperor is the Aries Major Arcana card. This is about taking control of a situation, taking charge of a situation. This is the person who's calling the shots, that's making the rules. They're setting the boundaries here. It's an energy of control. The other energy of control in the tarot deck is the Devil. They're slightly different because this is supposed to be about being in control, and this is about something else being in control of them. And when I get both of them together like this is probably a person who is kind of moving into the negative side of the Emperor, going from being in control to being somewhat controlling or domineering, or pushing their weight around here. And this a lot of times will be a person who is putting up this facade of being in control and trying to control everything around them and the people around them because they're lacking control of a piece of themselves. Right next to this Six of Cups, either something from the past happening again, something from the past coming back up, or a person from the past here. Next, I have the Three of Swords. This could actually be multiple of those things because it could be a person from the past happening again, and maybe that's not the first time that's happened. Could even be them going into this controlling, domineering mindset here, and that might not be the first time that's happened. There might be a history of that kind of behavior. This Three of Swords is Libra energy of heartbreak and sadness from a third energy. The third energy is not always a romantic third party, although it definitely can be. That third energy can be any number of things. Like anything that we humans do enough of is eventually going to pick up its own energy. Like my business has its own energy at this point. It affects my life. It affects my son's life. It affects Amanda's life. So career, work too much can be this third energy causing some kind of a problem. This toxic devil energy can be that third energy. There could be someone from their past that caused them some kind of a pain that they never healed from, and that's affecting who they are and affecting their behavior, and that could be the third energy. I've got the Eight of Wands out here in both decks. That's a card of travel. I've got the Two of Wands, which is a card of travel. And that's looking like about the only travel cards I have out here. I mean, geographic distance could be the third energy. Working too much could be the third energy. Hell, watching too much Netflix or eating too much candy could be the third energy for all I know. It is, however, sitting right next to the Two of Cups. And I have the pivotal moment, the thing that changed everything is the Two of Cups, which could be a third party shows up here. And that could be the third energy. So take that piece however it resonates for your specific situation. Looking like third party to me, especially considering that the next card is the Ace of Cups. This would be a new beginning in love and emotions. Like the new person showing up. Over here on your side where judgment is passed, the first clarifier, Four of Cups. I'm not happy with this third cup that showed up and I can't get this new cup out of my mind. Could be that. Now I do have to say that sometimes this card can represent trying to refill the cup between the two of you. It is sitting right next to Judgment, so that is a card of resurrection and trying to bring something back to life. And I do have the Star in the shared energy affecting both of you. The problem is there's a wall behind that. There's a barrier between healing and getting to your person here. There is this severing type of an energy here. This is looking like a new person shows up. they can't really contain themselves, even though they pretend like they're in control of themselves way more than they actually are. And it's looking like the reason judgment gets passed is because this new person showed up. I do have a new beginning over here, taking that blind leap of faith, or even foolish decision making, foolish risks being taken here. Internal conflict, like some struggle internally for them. It could be that. Like, I read these to you in columns, but then I connect it together in rows as I go along. And on their side, like, you had complete rows all the way down. On their side, these two cards have nothing to go with them. This Queen of Cups, which is you, Cancer, and Justice, some unfair, unjust thing taking place. It's looking to me like the unfair, unjust thing is new person shows up. And new person's probably not the correct way to word it, because it's not actually a brand new person. It's someone they already know, have some kind of a history with. Final card for your person, Cancer, is the Hanged Man. This is Pisces energy of progress being halted, no forward movement happening, things being stuck at a dead standstill. Now, the Hanged Man is hanging upside down because he's trying to look at things from a different perspective, a different point of view than normal. He's looking at things, trying to figure out what has me stuck. What do I need to adjust out here in order to get unstuck so I can move forward the way I want? Notice, though, he's looking at things from a different perspective. Things are external to them. He's not looking inside of himself. I don't have the Hermit anywhere out here. He's not doing internal work. He's not going inside to look for these things hidden in his shadows to make adjustments to themselves. They're looking external to themselves. What out here has me stuck? Whose fault is this? Like blaming it. It's like the blame game. It's like helpless victim mentality, which is not a common thing to see with the Emperor. It's really hard to be the person who's in control of everything and the helpless victim at the same time. But I got the Devil with that energy, and that Devil is sitting right beside this Hanged Man. This is really looking like a person who's playing the blame game and the helpless victim here, not looking at their own role in the situation. It's not uncommon for me to see something like that where a person has cheated on you and somehow it's your fault that they did what they did, which is like ludicrous, but see it all the time. Let's clarify this Hanged Man. Why is the Hanged Man here? It's the final card for Cancer's person, please. Yeah, there we go. Didn't think they were going to talk for a second. Man. I'm not feeling this person. I'm ready to get out of their energy. It's giving me a pain in my back right here. I don't know what that's about. Bottom of the deck, underlying this Hanged Man energy. Ace of Wands, new beginning and passion and desire, passionate new beginning, phallic symbol of the deck, the male you-know-what, using it to do you-know-what. Right under that, Two of Swords, decision that needs to be made, only they're not making the decision. They're looking outside of themselves here. They're probably viewing it, it's like I don't need to decide anything. Like, I'm not choosing crap. I got this new beginning. I've got you. I'm going to try to keep both of you. Yeah, I've got the Empress right behind it. That's your very first card. Birth of something new. This is like the birth of a new connection. And I'm not choosing. King of Wands. Yeah, they've already made their choice as far as they're concerned. They're choosing the wand. They're thinking with their you-know-what and not with their head or their heart. Very driven, motivated, passionate type of person here. When I clarify the Hanged Man, this idea of being stuck, I get Strength, the Sun, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Knight of Wands. I don't know if I told you or not, but this King of Wands is Leo energy, Sagittarius energy. Ooh, damn. Oh, I didn't go deep enough. Sorry, I got Five of Pentacles underneath that. This is Taurus energy. Fives are conflict and change. This is abandonment. This is being cast aside, being left out in the cold, discarded, walked away from. This is a breakup kind of an energy. And right behind that, I have Ten of Swords and Queen of Swords. Okay, Queen of Swords is the shared energy affecting you both. That's some sort of a severing here. Ten of Swords is Gemini energy of a swift, painful ending. probably an ending that you didn't see coming, which is why the swords are in your back, can even represent an ending in betrayal, hence getting stabbed in the back by someone close to you here. No matter how you slice this, this is an ending. And then I've got this severing type of an energy, cutting someone off. So I got 3 cards in a row that to me would represent a breakup. And things not moving forward, things being stuck. They're holding on to something that they don't want to let go of. Yeah, and then I've got King of Swords behind that. Like I said, really logical, rational mind, decision maker. I've got what leads to like incredibly irrational behavior out here when someone has this toxic devil stuff inside that's really calling the shots, pretending like they're in control when something else is. This right here is usually someone who's blaming it on something else, and they're justifying what they've done. They're rationalizing what they've done, trying to make sense of it and explain it in a way for their own ego so that they don't have to be wrong. It's you that's wrong. It's this other stuff that's wrong. It's not me that's wrong. Yeah, right underneath that, I have a defensive energy, Leo energy, of like defending my position on this, defending my stance on this, defending against accusations of wrongdoing, fighting to protect what's important to me and get what I want. And then I have an energy, more Leo energy, of moving forward successfully on something. When I clarify this Hanged Man energy, strength, I already showed you that. This Strength card is a Leo Major Arcana card. That's why I went back to the King of Wands, because there was a Leo card there and 2 more right after it. So I got more Leo energy here. This is talking about a difficult situation. It's probably more a difficult situation for you than them. If that's what it's talking about, this means that you have the strength to make it through this. You're just going to be forced to dig down deep inside yourself and tap into that strength to make it through. The other meaning to this card, which is what I'm feeling for them, is a person who's trying to tame this beast inside themselves. This beast inside themselves. It's central to their energy. The devil, like 666, the mark of the beast. So like this is them trying to resist that urge that they have, this desire that they have. But if you look at this, it's a little lady trying to hold back a lion. Like she can't hold that lion back. When the lion decides to take off, there's not really a lot she can do. So this represents trying to struggle against that piece of myself because I don't want to make a mistake. I'm trying to contain that and hold it back and stop it from messing everything up. But most of the time, people will lose that struggle. Doesn't matter how in control they present themselves to be. There's something from their past that's happening again or showing back up or having some kind of effect on their current life, or it's someone from their past is shown back up and they couldn't contain it. Next, I have the Sun, which is the other Leo Major Arcana card. So I got 2 Leo cards in a row. You might be dealing with the Leo here. This is the happiest card in the deck. It's happiness, joy, bliss, harmony. Can't really get a better card than that when that's what it's talking about. In this case, I'm not sure that's what it's talking about. The other meaning to the Sun is it's the card that comes right after the Moon in the sequence of the Major Arcana. And when the Moon's out, it's dark out. Stuff can be hidden in the dark. There can be secrets that are being kept, stuff that you can't see. The next step is the sun comes up and it's not dark anymore. And now all that stuff that was being hidden gets illuminated. It gets exposed. And I've got the 3 of Swords, the heartbreak and sadness from a third energy getting exposed. I've got the 2 cups that they have to choose between getting exposed. This Ace of Cups, this new beginning in love and emotions. Also, what's getting exposed is this Ace of Pentacles, this physical, tangible opportunity presenting itself. This is not an idea or a concept. This is something physical that I can touch. It's a physical opportunity for a new cup of love and judgment getting passed here. The final card in their energy here to clarify this Hanged Man is the Knight of Wands. This is sometimes referred to as the player of the tarot deck. It's a really fast-moving energy. It's rushing in, taking this really passionate action on something there's passion and desire for. Again, more wand energy, tied to a physical opportunity where I couldn't contain myself, and I'm blaming it on something other than me. this is sometimes that person who comes rushing into you super fast and all passionate and tells you everything that you want to hear, and they seem really gung-ho about what they say they want, and they're doing all the right things and saying all the right things, and then suddenly they switch gears and go a different direction. So this can be that dude who's telling you everything you want to hear to get what he wants, and then he rushes off somewhere else and tells them everything they want to hear to get what he wants there too, and he comes back playing both sides of the fence. It can be someone who's non-committal in the sense of they can't stay fully committed to what they said they wanted. They change their mind, and it's like real wishy-washy, in and out, back and forth bullshit kind of an energy. There's a gap right beside that, a gap in the information, some kind of a void. The only thing else in that row is you, Cancer, and the way it's laid on the table, there's this gap in what you know, and they're behind your back doing player-type activity. The only card now on their side that has nothing to go with it is Justice, which is telling me some unfair, unjust thing is happening, and this is pointing out the need to correct it. Now, if you still have questions you want answered about this situation or your relationship, click on any of the videos that just appeared on your screen right now. When you do, you'll be taken to more Cancer love readings that can give you more insight and more clarity about what's really going on in your particular situation, and I'll see you in the next video.